Hello and welcome, I'm Liam the Music Reviewer, and winter's finally over, spring's here. Oh, I can't wait to soak in that sun. Maybe we'll start running again actually, yeah, running would be great. Oh yeah. Listen, this channel, it's never been political. But I have to be real with you all, it's pretty fucking scary out there just now.
Hey people, listen up! It's a fucking lockdown!
Now, I'm not here to tell everyone how we're going to stop this global pandemic. I'm the guy, after all, that inflicted a deadly water-based virus on a digital city, so maybe not the person to be listening to. However, it's clear that music services like Spotify aren't giving you the help that you need just now, which, by the way, glaring omission of Robin's Dance on My Own. Glaring omission, just negative points. But anyway, I do think that having a quarantine package of sorts, like say for instance 5 songs about hope, would probably help you out a little bit, at least more than the last video about 5 important songs. Always do with these types of videos, this isn't going to be like a random assortment of 5 songs about hope. We need to have structure, or else I'm just going to start convulsing. So where better place to start than when hope is just non-existent to you. I know what you're thinking just now. Liam, we get it, you love Atrocity Exhibition. Have you lost track of how many times you've mentioned it in your lifetime? Anyway, Rolling Stone featuring Petite Noir, or as they call me, Petite Blank, is the third track off Danny Brown's 2016 record, known for its frenzied nature in both its sound design as well as its state of mind. With its hypnotic bass line and eerie synths, it's on the surface a beautiful, albeit bleak track, but peel off the pretty exterior and what's to be seen is far from nice. Admittedly, Rolling Stone doesn't really try to hide it, as the opening chorus where Petite Noir confesses to feeling so alone and in desperate need of some release of distraction sets the scene pretty well. As Danny takes a mic, this is only accentuated with him reflecting on situations where he had little control, such as his criminal background. In his own words, due to his poverty, he didn't have much of a choice but to engage in this behaviour. Throughout the song, Danny continues to bring in this downward spiral imagery, whether that be the core Rolling Stone analogy of having no direction, or being on a road with no end. The absence of hope would be well established from this alone, but is made most clear when Danny says that he feels there's no hope for him, falling back in his vice of drinking and drugs. Like I said before, I wanted to start with Rolling Stone because it marks a point in somebody's life where hope is just an abstract concept to them, and much like the video we're watching just now, this is just to represent the rock bottom. It's gonna only go upwards from here on out, because by the end of Atrocity Exhibition, Danny Brown says he's gonna keep on fighting no matter what opposition he faces. And our next track, there's gonna be probably the worst thing, or one of the worst things that could ever happen to you, but even in spite of that, there is hope and some optimism just scattered throughout, that believing isn't like too impossible for you. I'm sure you're probably thinking at this point that I've got the titles mixed up, or that you're in the wrong place, but your eyes aren't deceiving you here. We are discussing the Carrie and Lowell track in a video about being hopeful. I don't doubt that others will nod along with me when I say that 4th of July is a highlight of Sufjan Stevens' 2015 record, which is saying something considering how it's an album chock full of highlights. Carrie and Lowell is an unexpectedly depressing record considering how it's pretty much Sufjan's artistic way of grieving for his mother. However, it's not until 4th of July where the sheer lump in your throat inducing power of this album truly hits you. Told in the style of a conversation between Sufjan and his mother, I could easily make a video of top 5 4th of July lyrics that make me weep, and I could do it without breaking a sweat. Actually, let's do that.
Number 5. Shall we look at the moon, my little loon? Number 4. I'm sorry I left, but it was for the best, though it never felt right. Number 3. Did you get enough love, my little dove? Number 2. Will you do enough talk, my little hawk? Why do you cry? Number 1. What could I have said to raise you from the dead? Or could I be the sky on the 4th of July?
Salim, why are you mentioning this song in a video about hope? Good question, points for observation. But I do feel like no matter how miserable 4th of July might be, there is glimmers of faith and optimism that make this the natural next step from complete and utter hopelessness. Call it a reach, but I find Sufjan Muller's love for him so palatable that it itself is a great symbol of hope during what can only be described as one of the worst things that someone can endure. whether it be her pet names for him that all signify one of his many lovable traits, or her sheer empathy and care for him while battling a terminal illness. There are nuggets of adoration and hope that serve as a help for Sufjan to overcome and understand what is going on. To me, that is hope. It'll be a relief to know that from this point on, they're going to be far less miserable, they're going to be more hopeful and triumphant. There will be opposition, no doubt, but what I'm trying to say is chill. Chill. I hate to drop this bomb on you just now, but I have to tell you, I'm Scottish. And if there's one thing that you know Scotland for, other than the Waterhorse Legend of the Deep, then it's probably the Scottish independence referendum. Listen, this channel, it's never been political. In a post-2016 politics world, it might not seem that much, but it was a hugely divisive issue that many will still debate until the cows come home. This is some much needed background info to know how Iron Sky ties into this video about hope, because if any song tied into the pro-indie side of the argument, it was this one from Paolo Nutini. Fitted with an interlude from Charlie Chaplin's The Great Dictator, the political nature of this song is no accident, and while it is moody, there is an uplifting layer to it all. It obviously addresses heavy topics such as the animosity places like the UK hold towards vulnerable people, but it's all answered with a euphoric and powerful chorus. Granted, the expression of rising over love and over hate on paper could be seen as a little cheesy, but it's hard not to fall for these words hook, line and sinker when delivered with the gut-sewing passion that Nutini is known for. Considering how Nutini has told a lot of tales on his records that strike a chord especially with fellow Scots, it made total sense for him to make a song that became an anthem for hope in a campaign that, no matter what side you were on, was littered with fear. There is a specific context to bear in mind when listening to this song, but I feel like anyone could give it a go and get something out of it, whether that be the universal message of rising over love and hate, or maybe some sort of like religious element, all a bit much like how Bon Iver did with the track 33 God, where he sampled this very song. Anyway, Iron Sky is a song about hope in a more of a moody outfit. These next two songs are going to be less moody, more groovy. Trust me, the irony of choosing a song from an album called Worry, it's not lost on me. What also isn't lost on me is the fact this is our second 2016 song, a year that needs no introduction for being pretty fucking terrible. This is a video about hope though, and while Worry deals a lot with the never-ending stress of life, I did something weird last night as a bit of a welcome change. The song focuses on a blossoming romance between Jeff Rosenstock and his then girlfriend, now wife. There's the expected anxiety of unrequited romance that litters most of its verses, with Jeff going on as far to say that hope is a scheme. However, as the song progresses, it's clear that this connection is tangible, real, and very much worth getting your hopes up about. What makes this more than just, hee hee, I like girl, is how fleshed out these overwhelming films get, plan several hour-long road trips to see each other, the worry of this love having a catch, but passionately embracing it regardless. It's a pretty essential song about being aware of your base fears, but not letting it get in the way of something really special. That being said though...
Hello, good evening, and remain indoors.
We're on to our final song of this video though, and yeah, this is just time for pure, unfiltered, raw optimism and joy. This is it, an excuse to finally dive into what is undoubtedly one of the biggest bops of the 2010s, the star cut from Rina Sawayama's self-titled EP. Of course, we're discussing the lyrical importance of this song, but can I say, God, that cathartic guitar solo after the bridge is just an instant hit of dopamine every single time I hear it. Speaking to Fader, Rina said, everyone's trying to conform to what other people think about them or trying to fit in, and part of growing up is about being able to create your own path. That's the core of All Our Life, a song about unashamedly being and finding yourself. It's a self-aware song addressing the fear and red flags that can put off people from coming to terms with their true selves, but it abides by its own message. Sonically, it's unlike a vast majority of pop songs, that aforementioned guitar catching you off guard first time and giving the track an unreal amount of strength. It also ties into being a song that you could overanalyze to your audience of 900 subscribers, subscribe to Liam the User Reviewer, but it also operates as an absolute bop that can give you that boost of positivity to see yourself through the day. And there we have it, 5 songs about hope, and hopefully they've helped you out a little bit, even if this video has just served to distract you for the past 10 minutes. Like I said before, it's scary out there, so if you're feeling scared or anxious or nervous, you're reacting perfectly normal. Measures are changing every day. I was actually going to film this video at the start of the week, and now we're on a kind of quasi like lockdown, but not really a lockdown. But I think that's one piece of advice that I want to give is that if you can, please just try and support either musicians or venues. That's not to say actually go out to them, because obviously the advice says to stay home, but there's plenty of Kickstarters out there for venues in order for them to stay afloat. In terms of musicians, there's also just many avenues in which to support them. The best one would probably be going on Bandcamp, where you can actually purchase the music that it'll be worth hundreds of actual, like, or even thousands of plays on any other sort of streaming service. Anyway, thank you for watching, and thanks for Caldon for that voiceover. But anyway, I've just remembered I've got a delivery on the way, so I'm just gonna go get that. But in the meantime, stay safe and stay self-isolated.